Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Horror Movie Night. Real quick, we want to give a shout out to our Patreon subscriber, Sean Parks. You can follow him on Twitter at Shawnee Constant. It is SHONNYCONSTANT. He is a very frequent contributor to our Facebook page. I've definitely seen him tweeting our stuff on Twitter a whole bunch. He's a really cool dude, so thank you so much for your donation, Sean. I know that he told me when I last talked to him that he has a podcast that he might be starting up soon, but until we have the details for that, we're not going to get too far into it. But keep your eyes peeled, follow him on Twitter, and that will be when you hear about the episode before any of us do. And then, we'll give him another shout-out when that episode's ready to be promoted. But now, let's talk about a movie. This week on Horror Movie Night, we talked about a film where something that's supposed to be good for you instead horribly mutates your body. No, we talked about body melt last week, but this week we're talking about the stuff. So join us as Adam, Scott, and I go through the exact same shit we went through last week with the stuff.
To its credit, though, the stuff is far more entertaining.
Yeah, I have so many notes for this movie.
I do too.
Dude, this movie starts so abruptly, I thought that I was missing something. It just immediately kicks off right out the gate. And I have a question. So the movie starts off, there's these two guys, and they're walking around, and they see what looks like snow, but it's like liquidy snow bubbling out of the ground. Would you just decide to eat something like that as you found it in the ground?
Yeah, my first inclination is to put anything bubbling out of the ground in my mouth.
any white gooey substance that I just see hanging around, I just gotta put it in.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even ask. I just kiss.
Yeah, it's so that happens.
But okay, so how about this? So the one weird Wilford Brimley motherfucker is eating this stuff like a madman out of the ground, and his buddy yells over and he's like, "What are you doing? Eating snow?" And the guy's like, "No, come over here." And he's like, "Try this." He's like, "I don't eat snow."
How dare you accuse me of being one of those snow eaters?
It just don't. I love this film. I've seen this movie way too many times, so this was a complete joy to watch. But people's reactions in this movie are like they're robots.
Well, speaking of people's reactions in this movie, we get introduced to the little boy who's one of our main heroes, and he is overacting mosquito bites like a motherfucker. He's laying in bed, he's flopping around, he's just slapping his body all over the place. He's like, "God damn it, they're eating me alive!" And then he closes the window. Why would you have the window open with no screen? In the middle of summer, you're a fucking idiot. And then the dad, maybe I just had a laid back lifestyle as a kid, but that dude is really pissed that his kid got up in the middle of the night to get food. He's just
no, straight up, that dad is a huge asshole. That dad is like a narcissist. He's just like, "What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. Get the fuck back to bed.
I could have killed you."
I shut up, you son of a bitch.
He's like, "What is this? What is happening?" And then this movie's so chaotic because all that happens. This is 3 minutes in the movie. All this happens, and then it cuts to this commercial for the stuff, and it is the creepiest commercial. I would never buy this product. It's
I don't remember what products were marketed in the 80s though, because this movie is a great send up of 80s consumerism, and I mean, that's why I love it though, because it's very, very well done. I mean, it's low budget, it's a B movie, but I feel like the satire is really well done. And So this is stuff theme number 1 of 3.
Well, like
this movie's amazing.
So she's staring into the camera. She looks like she's like on fucking crack, and she's just like,
well, she is. The stuff it makes you feel good.
She goes, when I was a little girl, my favorite thing in the world was ice cream. I never thought that there'd be something that I would love more than ice cream. Now there is. Stuff. It's like it tells you.
This is as if, like Scott said, either a robot or an alien who's just trying to approximate human behavior. This is how they imagine human beings would act, but nobody in their right mind would act this way. And I think even Mo, to an extent, is just like a weird, not human being.
Yeah, he is throughout this entire movie so laid back about everything that's happening. Like
he is. But he it's just so that his character can have like that southern drawl sometimes. Yeah, but then he can have these shitty puns sometimes.
Even up till the end of the movie when he knows the stuff is killing people. He's like, well, I've got a gun on you, and I'm going to make you eat the stuff.
No,
that's what I'm going to do.
So the best...
What the fuck, Mo? Have some sort of emotion.
The best part of his laid-backness is when they're in the radio station, and Chocolate Chip Charlie, who is the star of this movie in my eyes, bursts apart, and there's just like, it's like the Blob. It's this huge fucking thing of the stuff, and he like very casually just like breaks a glass window and just climbs in there and just like plucking people up and setting the stuff on fire, like super cash. Like it's
with the electricity though. Is that how electricity works?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He shoots a cable.
Well, folks, here in the studio, a man just exploded. So I guess I better be hitting the old dusty trail. I got to get on my way now. I'll talk to y'all later.
I'd love for Mo to do like War of the Worlds radio broadcasts.
Well, it appears that there's aliens coming down here, ladies and gentlemen. I'd suggest that you all get in your home and board up the windows because they're exploding people. People turning into dust out there.
So
it's just the craziest thing I think I've ever seen.
So why do they call him Mo? Because I don't think they really explain that in the movie.
Oh, they call him Mo because he never panics.
Oh, that's fucking gold. Thank you, Scott.
Well, I had to make up for the year and a half of shitty puns that I've done on this show. So I love that scene when he punched the shit out of a couple people on the houseboat, on the yacht, and they're like, gotta keep the world safe for ice cream. You know, like, ice cream. It's like some shadow government that sells ice cream. I mean, I fell for it. Ice cream is my favorite thing because there is no stuff in the world. But anyway, so I love that. I just fucking love that scene so much. And then I believe that this movie is so like socially conscious about the whole concept, and it's super meta. Like, it knows that it's going to be a B movie, and it knows exactly what it wants to accomplish, and it does. But it also does it in such a lazy way that you're like, are they for real? It's just great. This movie, you cannot fight me on how entertainingly crappy this film is.
Oh no, it's fantastic. So we're now at my favorite scene in this entire movie, and I have like 4 rapid fire notes.
Wait. Did we already go? I think that you went past it because Mo meets the ice cream lords on the yacht before you see that first stuff, the photo shoot where she's like, isn't that where it is? Oh, no. Or that's the second theme that comes up. That's the Pat Benatar theme where the women are like, they do like 3 lines of Coke, or maybe they just eat 3 cans of the stuff, and then they're like, what do we need to use to sell the stuff? Women in bikinis wearing gigantic fur coats. Like, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Everything makes sense with enough cocaine.
So my favorite scene in this movie is the following morning, so little kid goes downstairs for a midnight snack. He sees that the stuff is moving around in the fridge, and then his dad wants to murder him. And it's this family dinner or family breakfast, and the mom's like to the older brother, like, go wake up Joey or whatever the fucking name is. He goes, Mom, my cereal's gonna get all soggy. Like he's like. And he's just
pocket food for a minute there.
Oh my god, he's just like, Jesus, Mark, God, plug in the pressure cooker so we can have some chicken parmigiana tonight, Ma. And he's like just standing there like,
Man, that was good. That's totally off the cuff too. I know you. But
when you go to the store, get some marinara sauce for that chicken parmigiana. And he's just standing there like he's holding the fridge door open for like 3 goddamn minutes. They're discussing stuff with the kid, and I'm just sitting watching the TV, being like, "Shut the door!" Like he's not doing anything. Like I'm getting so angry.
Listen, here's the thing about the stuff is that it's okay if it stays out. It's supposed to be refrigerated, but it's not gonna go bad, apparently.
Yeah, but what about the other stuff in the fridge, Scott? That's more where my concern is right now.
Nobody cares because all they're gonna do is eat the stuff.
Yeah, and also,
real food.
Apparently it's their only choice because the grocery store's like 75% the stuff when that kid goes in there and raids it.
Yeah, it's fucking everywhere. I love that the kid goes in and just starts trashing shit.
Like, okay, that kid is not that fast. There should be people that are like, fucking kid, and they just grab him. But no, he gets to do like thousands of dollars of damage to that grocery store. Also, that might be the best part of any 80s kids movie would be, I mean, if you were the kid acting, you'd be like, wait, I get to break shit and get paid to do it?
I just get to run around screaming and shaking a broom.
Yeah. Like, okay, you know everybody here loves Stranger Things. That would have been, like, if we were kids nowadays and we got to do Stranger Things, that's the closest approximation to being in the stuff because you just get to break stuff.
Yeah, no, it's, this kid is pretty much present in most of the best scenes in this movie. But we finally get to meet Chocolate Chip Charlie. I love it. Chocolate Chip Charlie is also a shining example of why Larry Cohen, who made this movie, said that this movie was never a horror film. It was always going to be a comedy, and it makes sense because he cast Garrett Morris as Chocolate Chip Charlie, who was pretty much most well known for SNL around that time.
He looks familiar, and I've seen this movie so many times, and I never put that together.
Yeah, he was the original SNL cast member. He was from the Bill Murray, John Belushi days. It's funny though because in an interview with him, he got interviewed for some website, and they were talking to him about the stuff, and he was just like, "Yeah, that was a rough movie." And they were like, "Well, how'd you feel about Larry Cohen? Like, he's got a history of being a pretty interesting director." And all he said was, "My mom told me to never say anything that isn't nice about people." And that was all he had to say.
He didn't say anything.
It's like, okay, so I guess they didn't have a good time on the set.
So Larry Cohen, what else did he do?
Mostly the It's Alive franchise.
It's Alive?
Yeah, the one like the mutant baby thing. Have you never seen the It's Alive movies?
It's Alive? I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it's about a woman who gives birth to like a mutant killer baby, and it's the dad trying to find the baby as it runs loose through the streets of New York. And they made 3 of these movies. Wow,
I think I might very, very vaguely remember the cover of the first one, but, have you seen any of them?
I've seen the first one, it's okay. He also wrote Phone Booth.
He also wrote Maniac.
He wrote Maniac
1, 2, and 3.
There we go.
Wow. Topical.
And he wrote Uncle Sam, if you remember that movie from the 90s.
Oh, man, Uncle Sam is garbage.
But one day we'll watch it for, 4th of July episode or something.
Yeah, that'll have to be our year 3, our 300th, or no, our 150th episode. That would be, right around July, right?
Probably, sometime around then. We'll suffer through fucking Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. I mean, I think I was 13 when that movie came out, and I saw it when it came on video, 13 or 14, and I watched it and was so underwhelmed.
See, I remember
that was the time that like that came out in Jack Frost, and there was.
The holographic covers were a huge thing
back
then.
That's exactly what's connecting those. They must have been by the same company.
Yeah, and he also did Q the Winged Serpent, which is pretty fun.
Which I've never seen.
Yeah, that one, I would have never watched it, except for my buddy did a, for Halloween one year, he was like, I'm going to watch a different horror movie each day in, like, representing every letter of the alphabet for the first, like, however many letters of the alphabet there are, 26, I think. And then, like, the last 4 days will just be, like, movies that I really want to watch. And he was like, I only had one choice for Q. So he's like, I watched Q the Winged Serpent. And he's like, it was pretty good. So I Netflixed it, and I was like, oh, that is pretty good, actually. So the movie kind of, like, my notes have a really long gap at this point because it kind of just turns into, like, a lot of chase sequences around this point.
Wait. Did you miss the part where the kid pukes in the back of the car and is like, I'm sorry, I just ate shaving cream.
Yeah, no, that's where my notes start back up because.
Okay.
He comes home. He realizes that the people who are eating the stuff are turning into like kind of mindless, obsessed zombies, right? And
right, but there's a really cool line there that I do think is a nice kind of chilling piece of consumerism, like commentary. It's when the dad says. It's full of good things like yogurt. They kill the bad things inside of us.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
I really like that line.
So what Mo has discovered is that people who eat the stuff, it's essentially like a bacterial virus that is just like, or I guess parasitic more so, that's like eating out all of your insides and then eventually controlling your body like a hollow shell. So that when people punch you, your face just like crumbles because there's nothing. So
wait, so it can pop out of you and back in too, right? Because when he and Chocolate Chip Charlie go to that abandoned town, like the one guy's like, "I'll be back," and then he like keels over, but then like wakes up again or something.
Yeah, something weird like that. I think it depends on if the face is completely shattered or not.
Well, they'll also like find a whole room of people that look dead, and then Mo will be like, "Oh, whatever was inside of them must have run away."
So they basically force this little kid. They're like, "Look, you take this stuff. You're going up there, or you're starving. So you better eat this, boy." So he goes into the bathroom and he dumps it in the toilet. And the whole time, all I can think is that a Twisted Sister poster on the wall in the bathroom? Because I'm convinced that there was, and I didn't take the time to pause it, but
I screenshot that shit.
Yeah, please. There is.
All right, I'll find it.
There's almost definitely a Twisted Sister poster hanging in the bathroom for all of the shots where he's like dumping stuff in the toilet, and all I can think is like maybe they shot two different scenes and then spliced it together. But then he fills the canister with shaving cream and is pretty content eating the shaving cream. Like, I almost feel like, you're in a bathroom. You probably could have gotten away with toothpaste and it wouldn't be eating shaving cream. like,
oh my God. Nobody has thought of that until you. You know that? That is...
But
Life Hacks by Matt Kelly.
So you said the line where it's like, "Sorry, I threw up. I've been eating shaving cream," and Mo very calmly just says, "Everybody's eating shaving cream once in a while," whatever the fuck that means. His
really?
shit.
Again, Mo, where are you from? What fucking planet are you living on?
Like like he's giving some type of like Yoda shit. Like he's like giving some, really like touching people with this deep statement. Everybody has to eat a fair amount of shaving cream once in a while.
They call me Mo because whenever I eat shaving cream, I always want Mo.
So you also are missing the part where he very calmly is like, "Can you roll down the window, son?"
Oh my God. This fucking movie, man, it's a blast. It's so much fun.
I think that this is the point where we get to the third theme song, because they're like in the hotel, right? and the hotel scene is next, I think, and Mo's watching the TV, and the Streetwise stuff theme comes on. Everybody does their like little dances and stuff, and they're like the stuff. I think he shuts off the TV, and then the stuff comes out of everywhere.
Yeah.
You know why it got so far along and killed so many people? Because every time Mo tried to warn someone, there was no fucking urgency at all in his voice. Like, if he had got on national television and been like, oh, hey, ladies and gentlemen, all that stuff that you're eating, it's actually hollowing you out and killing you from the inside. They'd be like, well, I mean, he doesn't seem too worried about it. Whatever. We'll just keep eating the shit. Fuck it.
So,
well, this is an allegory for McDonald's, right?
Yeah. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, McDonald's is causing an obesity epidemic. Y'all gonna die of heart disease. Just wanted to let you know.
So then, like, they go to the radio station, and then it does this even weirder moment. For me, is like
you're missing the entire part where they go and meet this guerrilla warlord who's somehow in America, in Georgia or something, and he like knows Mo.
Yeah.
Agrees to go along with it, and then they take over the factory that makes and then they see all the stuff like coming out of the ground, and then this is why like there's all this shit. You're like, I just stopped taking notes. Yeah, all that shit happens in the span of like 10 minutes, and then they get to the radio station, and then Chocolate Chip Charlie comes, and then they. It's like this movie has a million things going on in it.
Yeah, so all that happens. They get into the radio station. This gorilla dude basically starts his like broadcast that has been written for him. The stuff they kill the stuff, but then it does this really weird thing where it just cuts to the woman who like has been producing these stuff commercials because he's like, stop eating the stuff, destroy the stuff, and then just cuts to her and she's like, and they did. Like she's like we don't have the time. They don't have the time to show it happening, really, so it's just like, all right, just bring that girl out, and all of a sudden there's narration for the last, like, minute of this movie. And then we've already alluded to, Adam has alluded to Mo getting vengeance on the people who've been selling the stuff by forcing them to eat it at gunpoint. And then, it ends with you finding out that the stuff is kind of like an underground drug now, where people are still sneaking it in.
But so are they? So he makes the two guys, the head ice cream lords, sweet band name by the way.
Yeah.
He makes them eat the stuff until they're like I gotta keep eating it, and then of course the implication is that they die. So their plan was though to re-release the stuff as the Taste.
Yeah,
which is
like
shit name for. It's like 2% instead of 100% stuff or whatever.
88% ice cream, 12% stuff.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you, Adam. Adam is definitely the math wizard of this podcast. Definitely not Math Kelly over here.
No.
So they decide. Like, do you think? It's always bugged the shit out of me that first of all, the Taste is an awful name for a product. I mean, it means nothing. It's like word salad. But then I'm thinking like, would people really? It's been, a month since the stuff was taken off shelves and it's now an underground drug that people are like, oh, got the stuff. But like, I feel like the public's memory is short.
Yeah.
Yes, but wouldn't people be like, hey, this product reminds me of that shit that the government just said kills people and takes over your bodies.
Also, the logo looks exactly the same.
Yeah. So every time I've watched this movie, I've been like, that's just so unbelievable. In an unbelievable movie, that's so unbelievable. But then we had our election this past year, and I realized we are that gullible.
Oh, getting political with Scott Roger.
You can cut that.
Why would we cut that? We're going to get into a nice, deep, philosophical, political conversation here about how the stuff relates to our modern day society today.
Well, the stuff is all white, so there you go.
Nice.
Were you practicing your Mo impression for like the last month and a half? Because you're fucking knocking it out of the park today.
No.
It's just such an easy impression to do. It's just Just imagine, like, you don't give a shit that thousands of people are dying around you.
All right, so I think that's all we have to say about the stuff.
I'm stuffed out.
Yeah,
I'm stuffed.
I want to send a quick apology because I am an asshole, and I just realized as I looked up, because this was emailed to us as a suggestion. As I looked up who emailed us this so I could read their email, I realized that this was picked by John from the Fright Corner podcast. And we were supposed to have John on the show for this episode, and I apologize right now, John. I'm sending you an email as we speak. Send us another movie pick, and we'll definitely get you on. I'm so sorry that I didn't indicate on my document that this was one that we were going to have a guest on. But now, let's talk about what we watched this week. I am going to sit this one out because I haven't really watched too much, and I know that Adam has like 6 notes to go over on the newest Flavor of Love, so I'd like to just speed right over to that as quickly as possible.
Wait, you should let me say a few words about what I watched before Adam.
Yeah, I'm going to take us home. You go ahead, Scott.
Yeah. Okay. So I watched one thing this week, and I'm kind of surprised that I did, but I'm also like it was really fun. Well, it was more fun than I expected. I watched Sadako versus Koyako.
I heard that movie's delightful.
It's a lot more fun than I was expecting. Now, as you two guys know, and we don't really talk about this on the show because we never pick any of them, but J-horror is not my thing. We suffered through a good amount of J-horror on Reddit Horror Club, and it's been a couple years of blissful silence as far as that goes in my life. I just don't seek it out. I remember when it was like a huge craze in like 2002 through 2005, and it just really burnt me out in the first 2 years of it. And I was just like, okay, I get it. I've seen every single trope of this, but I think that the only even remotely sort of J-horror-ish movie that I've watched since in the last couple of years was House. When we watched it a couple years ago, and so I kind of had a fresh consciousness when I decided I'll give this a chance because I was feeling a little nostalgic for like the girl from The Rings, like what she does to people's faces, and it was fun. Like I have forgotten that J-horror is a lot slower paced than American horror in general, like as a rule, at least from what I've watched. A lot of it is much more about like creeping you towards like a climactic finish. But it was a lot of fun. I watched it on Shudder because it's like a Shudder exclusive. I would recommend it to both of you guys. It's fun. Like it's not super meta, but it also does kind of exist in a post internet kind of world, like with a little bit of like the meme feel to it. But it's fun. It was definitely a good way to spend an hour and a half.
I heard, and confirm or deny, I heard that there's like a pretty humorous subplot of like the concept that no one has VHS tapes and VCRs, so it's really difficult for the Ring Girl to get into this world anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty much kind of the crux of how she gets found again. So, which is true, but it also multiple DVD copies of her of the VHS tape are made throughout the movie, and they're never touched upon again at the end, which is not as much a loose end as it's like kind of setting up for them. I think it's setting up for Sadako versus Kayako 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I think that's I think that they're revitalizing the both the Ring and Ju-on or the Grudge franchises kind of as a new amalgamated, like a new consolidated franchise. And I'm hoping that wasn't just oversight in the screenwriting, because it felt like a pretty thoughtfully written film. But yeah, there are DVD copies of her video now.
right. I'm looking at the clock. I'm seeing what time it is.
Oh, yeah, you know what time it is. Flavor, 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 man. All right.
Oh, what degradation have you sat through today?
This one, as bad as it is actually one of the not as terribly degrading and dehumanizing episodes, although still pretty bad. They kind of give the girls some leeway, and they all degrade themselves in this one. So after the whole porn debacle with the girl on the last episode, stuff's a bit tense in the house. There's a white girl in the house whose name is Buck Wild, and she has been acting like a G the whole time. She's always got like, you know, just very much playing it up and acting all gangster all the time. So one of the bigger girls, one of the black girls, calls her out and tries to like ask her where she's from and stuff. And she pretty much says that she's from like a white suburb, and she's like, "Yeah, that's my hood." And the girl's like, "I've been there. That's not a hood. That's okay, but whatever." So the girls get a flavogram, which is sort of like a message from Flav because he's too lazy to go from the upstairs bedroom to the downstairs kitchen to tell them anything. So they get a flavogram, and it says that they're going to be having a party today, and they're all going to have to set up the party and get it ready for all his friends. They all just bicker and yell and scream at each other the whole time, as per usual. So the party begins with Flav saying that they need to treat his guests real good and show his guests a good time. Here's the guest list. G-Unit, the Yin Yang Twins, Bishop Don Juan, 3-6 Mafia, and Warren G are all the guests at this party, as well as their entourage and all their hanger-ons. So all the girls freak the fuck out. So, they're all excited. And Flav tells all these people, you got to report back to me. Tell me what you think about all these girls. So from fucking second one, these girls all start acting like strippers. Like, literally getting up on tables, bending over, doing booty shakes, showing off their asses, pulling out titties and stuff. Just really slutting it up. But Flav seems to be pretty cool with it. He seems like, yeah, that's what I told them to do, is show my friends a good time. That's exactly what I wanted.
Wait,
they're all...
Are you trying to say that all these girls aren't already strippers?
Only one is a confirmed stripper. She straight up says, "Yeah, I have a pole in my living room, and I do like cam shows and stuff." So she straight up admits it. Yeah, but the rest of them, no, not so much. So, yeah, it's like bent over for like 12 dudes, shaking their pussies, doing pussy pops and stuff. Now, the one big girl in the house wants to get in on that action too. So she gets up and she starts shaking her booty. And everybody just kind of laughs at her, and it's really depressing. It's not very nice. So by far the sluttiest girl, the one with the stripper pole, decides, all these celebrities are getting all this attention. What I'll do is I'll go and I'll pay attention to their entourage. So she's literally stripping it and slutting it up for the hanger-ons, like the no-name people that are in the background of the party. She starts going and like flirting with all of them and stuff. And she's like pulling her titty out and stuff, and Flav's like, "Whoa, I didn't tell you to be that nice," and all this shit. And then it smash cuts to her throwing up in a bathroom because it's 11 a.m. when they're having this party, and she got too drunk first thing in the morning.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's fucking depressing. So
yeah, as you're like just gleefully explaining all the horrible shit that this show has these people do.
Hey, whatever. I've been there before. That chick can deal with it. So the one girl gets asked if she's, by 3-6 Mafia no less, is asked if she's a fan of Flavor. And she says, yeah, I like Flav. And they go, oh yeah? Name one of his songs. And she can't name a single fucking song that he's done. It just gets called out so hard. And they pull Flav over. And are like, yo, this girl doesn't know any of your music. And it's just so cringy to watch because she's just getting like so embarrassed and just ashamed. So whatever, party's over. Flav's going to get the rundown from all his homies about what they think of these girls. Here's the rundown. They're all fake sluts and they're here for TV. Literally everyone. Not a single one gets a good recommendation from these guys. So Flav pulls one of the girls up to his room the next morning, and they start aggressively making out. Here's a quote for you. I got down on that ass, and she got the apple, son. That's a quote that I wrote down.
What does an apple mean?
Just a big booty.
Oh, she's got an apple. I thought she got his apple, and I'm like, what part of his genitalia is the apple?
Yeah, I hope his penis isn't shaped like an apple. So it's been a while since we had a fight. So these two girls named Boots and Crazy go at it for like 15 minutes while Flav just sits there and watches. And I guess he feels like Boots won the fight because then he takes her to go out for a swim and they aggressively make out in the swimming pool. I
like the adjective aggressive there. It's nice.
It's always very aggressive. Like he will grab them angrily by the back of the head, and it's almost like they're smashing mouths together. Just boom! Like fucking, you might as well headbutt them with his lips. It's crazy. So the big girl's feeling really left out. You know, she's feeling neglected. So she goes to Flav's room and she shows him all this like sexy lingerie that she has. And the whole time, like Flav's just mugging to the camera, like ooh. Anyway, she gets eliminated that night. So you know she gets eliminated, and Flav brings in a special guest that's going to help him judge the next day's competition, and that guest is New York. And all the girls shit their pants. Now, I'll tell you about New York, who New York is, and what happens in the next episode on next week's episode of Horror Movie Night.
So
wait, are you saying that all the girls shit their pants and then Flav has to...
Oh, no, I forgot that in this show it's a possibility that people might actually shit their pants. Nobody actually shits their pants.
Maybe I'm alone in this. I don't know how into rap music Scott would be for this opinion, but I'm a little disappointed in Warren G for being at this party. I feel like Warren G has better things to do. He's got to regulate and perpetrate the streets.
He shows up, he does his intro, and the guy's like, "Yo, Warren G's here," and then you never see him again. So I feel like he showed up, was like, "Wow, this is fucking stupid," and just left.
He's like, "I'm related to Snoop Dogg. I can have better things to do." Or wait, that's Nate Dogg. Fuck.
Now you sound like as much of a tool as I would if I were talking about it.
Sorry, because Nate Dogg and Warren G got to regulate. That was the stuff from 1985, as picked by John from the Fright Corner podcast. Definitely check them out whenever you have a chance. They are really, really cool guys. I think they've had Scott on the show before. Is that true?
Yes, we talked about Maniac, both versions.
And also, you can check us out. You can send us emails and let us know movies that you'd like us to pick by sending us an email at hmnpodcast@gmail.com, as well as checking out our Patreon, which is constantly up. We're always giving away some cool stuff. We're keeping things super exciting. You can get like free commentary. Well, not free, you're paying for it, but you can get commentary tracks from us. You can get some bonus content from us and a bunch of other cool stuff like packages of horror swag, t-shirts, and a newsletter. We have a newsletter which is seems to be pretty well liked by the people who subscribe to it. And because of all that stuff, we're able to actually go to conventions and possibly do live events. So thank you for allowing us to be at Monster Mania in literally about less than a month away when this comes out. So thank you once again. Is there any places where you guys could recommend that they listen to our show if they haven't before?
Well, you could definitely find us over at HMN Podcast on Twitter. Also, you can find John and the Fright Corner at the Fright Corner on Twitter as well if you want to check them out. What about you, Scotty?
You can go to soundcloud.com / wow, Horror Movie Night, and we have all of our delightful wares for your ears up there. That's a great place to listen to us. You can also use your podcast app and listen to us via iTunes. You can also rate and review and subscribe that way. And you can check out our Facebook page. It's always exciting over at the Facebook page. It's especially exciting when Adam and Matt use their pop culture knowledge to shitpost and keep people interested throughout the week while we wait with bated breath for Friday night's episode.
And it should be mentioned that, that Facebook page is probably one of my favorite things on Facebook right now, and not just because it's for our podcast, but because there seems to always be some type of content being posted on there, be it from us or from our fans who are, I'm sure every podcast says this, but our fans are pretty fucking awesome. I've really, really learned to appreciate how dope our fans are compared to a lot of other podcast fans. So fuck those other podcasts. It's all about horror movie night.
Well, I mean, I've managed a lot of Facebook pages in my time, and ours is overwhelmingly positive. Like, I don't just mean like glowing praise for our podcast. I mean, people come in and they're civil and they're fun and they're intelligent and they don't talk shit to each other. It's fantastic.
So
absolutely.
So keep us on your pod. We're over 80 episodes in, guys. This is insanity. We're going to be near 100 episodes like before the summer, and that is so cool. So thank you guys, and we will be back next week.
Hey, before we go, you guys want to hear my impression of Mo Rutherford as a doctor?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, it appears here that you've got full-blown cancer, and you've only got about 3 more months to live.
I feel like he'd be like, and you're going to die tomorrow. Because he would just be like, whatever.
Well, I'm afraid that it was a stillborn.
And scene.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.